Hey everybody, we are here at JBJ Diesel in Idaho. Where in Idaho are we?
We're in Caldwell, right outside
Caldwell,
Boise.
that's right. Caldwell, Idaho, because I got this motorhome. So Jake picks the thing up and he's got it over here. And the first thing I see, so we're in Jake's shop because Jake does big diesel stuff, which is really super cool. I'm going to show you some amazingly neat engine parts stuff that I think is neat, super neat. You're probably just as used to it by now. And then one of the simple things that amuses me is this entire, the entire motorhome is up on a lift. So you just walk underneath it, do the whole deal, you know? And these are wireless controlled. So bring it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
Yep.
All of them run at the same time. Up, down, whole deal. I mean, it's crazy. So each jack on its own individual wheel.
Yeah, mobile column lift.
Yeah. These things are really slick. That's pretty neat.
It'll make it nice for us fat guys. Hard to get under these things sometimes. Especially on these motorhomes with the skirtings and stuff like that, you know. Even some of these new Cascadias and Freightliners, they have a lot of skirting and they're just hard to get under. You got a pit or, you know, some type of lift.
There you go. Roll them out. So, anyways, Jake's got a really fascinating story, and I just look at all sorts of stuff. Like, if you walk in, this is a diesel shop. Like,
you could eat off the floor. Yeah.
there ain't nothing on the floor in the entire shop.
Yeah.
You can shoot out that way. You can see all the rest of the semi trucks and stuff. And the 6x6 here. Now this is how. So Jake is a customer and buddy, and he has a few engines of ours, and he has one of our SMLs that he bought. Oh, when did we get this done for you?
Was it
A few months ago now.
Yeah, it was back in I think like April or
Yeah. So he had this one all done. That's going in his Chevelle 69? 72, I'm sorry. In the Chevelle that used to have one of our LS engines in there. And he tortured the snot out of that thing.
Yeah, how many miles?
17,788 miles on it.
And how much horsepower at the tire?
It went anywhere from 1,200 to as much as 1,950. But it lived the majority of its life around the 1,400, 1,500 mark.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. 1950 it really was never designed to do that.
No. Matter of fact, I remember asking you one time, because I know everything had a limit. You know, it's all got limitations. I remember asking you, like, I know everything's got a limit, but like, where are you like rolling the dice? And I remember you telling me, you start knocking on 30 pounds and you're rolling the dice. So, but you know, it started out at like, I think 18 pounds, 20 pounds, and then it was 22, then 24, and
just keeps on going and going and
so
going.
I heard a couple pistons.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so you got all this stuff, and I think you're gonna find it really, really cool because, like, if you ever went through or if you ever watched our origin story, Jake's got a really awesome origin story too, and so he's starting to tell us the origin story. And go, oh, hold on. Said, right, we should get this on camera because it's a really good origin story. So let's go over to the beginning over here, and we'll just show you a couple stuff. Oh, and real engine stands. Oh crap!
It's got legs.
It's like in his balance too.
Yeah, it's nice to move.
Yeah.
6,000 pounds, so
6,000 pound engine stand.
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I am slightly disappointed, Jake, that you don't have a power one of these. But if you look in here, you should see this pinion and ring gear that's in here. This thing must have like a 15, 16 inch ring gear.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, even when you have a fully loaded motor and you take a 15, 18 liter motor and turn it on its side, it still turns.
Yeah.
You know, the only time it would ever be hard is if you like didn't get your center of gravity on the motor well. So
yeah, huh. Fascinating.
This is the original.
So this is the original building that you started in. Didn't used to have dyno here.
Nope.
And tell about when it was so small, what you had to do.
Yeah.
So he's always been working on semi trucks.
Yeah, working on semi trucks. You know, when I started out, it was JBJ Automotive and Diesel, and I wanted to get out of the automotive. I just did automotive because I was going to take any job I could. But originally, it was only 30 foot deep. It didn't have this expansion, and there was 2 doors here. There was no office, no break room, no restroom, nothing like that. We literally had 2 doors and 1 airline and 4 lights. And I used to have to bring these semis in here, and you couldn't fit a whole semi in 30 feet. So we would have to, you know, put the door down on the back of the cab and tarp around, you know, especially in the winter time. Summertime it wasn't a big deal, but winter time, no heater. It was cold, and I don't miss those days. I don't miss those days at all. Yeah.
Fire up the torpedo heater and,
That's
and
exactly
keep things
it.
warm.
Yep.
In the tarp, because half the truck is outside.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Yeah, those days were, you either got a headache and lived with the diesel fumes, or you froze. So those were the 2 options. So.
Crazy. Then when did you put the hub dyno, or I'm sorry, put the dyno in?
This went in 2019, actually.
Oh, really?
So yep. I put that in 2019. So basically, long story short, I've been in business since 2011, and
I reopened my shop in 2010.
wow. See?
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2011 had this small building, worked out of this small building for about a year, and went through basically 1 winter like that, and then I expanded it the following year, and so I could at least get it. And you know, when I tried to expand it, I was going to get a loan from the bank, but you got to have 2 years of taxes, and they just were not going to have it. So I had to save up enough money to expand that to finally get a semi in here, and that was like one of the best things I ever did. So, and then over the course of several years, I saved up enough money to build the first steel building, which is on that side, and that was 2017. So it was
It's a big expansion. So this was probably, this wasn't much more than 1,000 foot, 1,200 foot at the time.
Yeah.
When you first started.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably 1,000 foot. Looks
Yeah,
like.
matter of fact, the concrete, you know, it's okay right now, but when we poured this concrete originally back in the day, the machine that floats it blew a seal, and it was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. So this concrete was just
terrible.
It was horrible, and I actually had it ground and
repolished.
Yeah, because it was, no matter how many times you swept it, it was still dirty. So, but having it polished up, you know, it definitely made it a lot nicer. So.
Yep. All right. So, 2011, butt ass broke, making this thing from nothing, freezing his nuggets off outside in the winter.
Nature Bay.
Yep. And going forward into expansion and just working hard, making stuff happen.
Okay. Yeah. And it was it's a 60 by 82. And people always laugh at like the 82 feet. Well, the reason it is the city that I'm in, anything over 5,000 square feet, you had to go on water. And I could, let alone afford the steel building and everything. So I went as much 4,900 and some square feet that I could go without going over 5,000 because I couldn't afford the water. So that's, people always laugh, but that's the 82
Sprinkler
feet.
system.
Yes, you know. Then when I expanded it, obviously now you can see they had to add fire suppression to the whole entire building. So because it's, you know, almost 14,000 square feet now. So
14,000 square feet. So you added the second extension down there.
Yep. Yeah. So basically it's 60 foot wide by 190 foot long. Yeah.
Nice.
So between these 2 buildings, we have right at 14,000 square feet.
Yep. So clean, and especially notice on the ceilings that the ceilings are still white.
Yes, exactly. Got to have a good exhaust ventilation system.
Yep, good system with diesel.
Yeah, and you can see the color change in the concrete. That's where the new building.
Used to have permanent hoist here.
Yeah, we had, so those 3 lifts that are
I
there,
see,
we
right
used
here.
to have them kitty cornered. So we had 2 big doors just like that. They're 14 by 15 doors, and they were right here. Matter of fact, you can see they didn't even pull the metal down, which I still got to get that taken down where the old doors used to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you used to be able to pull in the back. So we could fit 4 semis in here and then 3 pickup trucks kitty cornered. So
Gotcha.
but, yeah, it was tight. So
Yep.
very tight.
And then this is like toolbox row. I guess
Yeah, this is my guy Justin's.
this is 20 foot long.
Yeah, they call it Mr. Big. He's been with me for 10 years. You know, he's my right hand man.
Yeah.
So he's,
Mr. Big. Yeah.
Yep, Mr. Big. Yeah, he's.
This is bigger.
Yeah, this is one of my guys, Sean's. He's super awesome too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, we had a new hire, and I was like, man, you just can't have a green toolbox, because my second to last guy I hired, he had a green toolbox too. So he's looking at his box. My latest guy's over on the other side of that deuce, but he.
The orange one.
No, it's actually even further
even
back.
further
from there.
down there.
Yeah, but I was like, man, you just can't choose green, because I'm going green crazy around here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we took those 3 lifts, put them back here, so you could drive straight into the lifts, and because when we had them kitty corner like that, you wanted to get one out, you had somebody behind you. It was a big old shuffle. We had 5 mechanics in that shop at one point, and it's not a lot of real estate for that many mechanics. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Now I'll show you some cool engine parts. Little known secret. Jake has never been in the gym in his entire life. He's gotten this big by lifting
Big truck parts
and torquing rod bolts and main bolts.
Yeah.
He told me here a while ago what they were torquing main bolts to in these big engines.
Yeah, one of the DD16 Detroit, they're 825 foot-pounds on the mains. So.
825 foot-pounds. Where's the torque wrench for that?
Well, I got a 1-inch torque wrench, but believe it or not, we actually have to use a multiplier. So
A multiplier.
this is actually really cool. I'll show you this little tool. It's not cheap, it's a $7,000 tool, but it works awesome. So
A $7,000 torque wrench?
yeah, so this is my big boy torque wrench. This one only goes up, I think, to 600 foot-pounds. So, but the DDs are a torque turn. So basically, you have this gun and an air operated assembly. Let me pull this down here so you can see. So basically how this works is this goes on there, this will lock onto the other main cap, and then it's got an air pressure regulator, and it'll tell you X amount of PSI is this many foot-pounds.
Oh.
And so when you put it up there, it is just like boop, boop, boop. And we've tested it, we've set it, whatever the pressure is, set it at 550 foot-pounds, run it down, and then use your torque wrench to check it out. So yeah, because I don't even know if they make a torque wrench that would do 800. Yeah, that's a
This ain't light.
yeah. Yeah.
This goes up to how many? 600?
Yeah.
600 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
600
Vader
foot-pounds. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy cool.
Yeah.
And then, so everything you need to torque something to 850 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, and I think
And a main bolt.
I think that this tool will actually go up to, I think it'll do like a couple thousand or something. It's pretty incredible. So
Wow.
yeah. So, but it makes it nice on my guys, because you could use a torque multiplier and do stuff like that, but it's still a lot of work, and
A lot of work pulling on it.
yeah, exactly. Especially when when we're doing mains, we do them in the air like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so it's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
nice
You'd
when
have to. Yeah, you'd be up above your head.
yeah, you'd have to lower it down just to torque them, because
Yeah. That'd be. Yeah.
it makes it
Amazing.
a lot nicer.
Yeah. Now, I'll show you I've showed you some big camshafts and the difference between like a 60 millimeter cam, 70 millimeter camshaft, and the Hemis. And now I want to show you a real camshaft, a real big bugger. This thing is pretty slick.
The SMD for the diesel.
Oh well, an SM. Ooh, yeah,
SMD.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Yes.
All right, let's get the thumbnail shot. See if you can pick that sucker up. It's probably. Oh yeah.
See? Don't need
It ain't
pearls.
light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an
Look at
expensive
that thing.
stick.
Yeah, this is probably. It's probably only 60 or 70 pounds, maybe 70 pounds, something like that. But this, so that's probably like a 3¼ inch, maybe 3½ inch journal, probably something around there. So
Big.
that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Like I said, it probably weighs about 70 pounds is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's a big one. In the diesel world, that's probably one of the favorite camshafts out there. I mean, people love Caterpillars. It's like cream of the crop, right?
Right.
Yeah, people love them. Well, they're awesome. Make good products. They don't make a new Class A engine now
Yeah.
because they just got smart and said we can't keep up with emissions. So, but yeah, I think 2010, I think was the last year of the A cert and stuff like that. So I'm not 100% familiar on those ones. So, but
So, something interesting here too is this has a it's an inverted lobe, I think is what we call that. So I can physically feel that the lobe goes from its base circle here and actually gets smaller and then comes out bigger. So the lobe is, you can very much feel it right there.
Yeah, that's like what the Lambo stuff is. A lot of overhead cam stuff
Yeah.
is like that.
what is the purpose of that inverted like that?
So it gets a bunch of lift area out here, and since there's no RPM on the engine like this, it can tolerate that. This kind of thing throws lifters off of it at high RPM like nobody's business, you know. So I mean, it's hard to.
It's like in a gradual, aggressive.
Yeah. So instead of a nice low profile like this, it's like this. So it gets a bunch of can build a bunch of cylinder pressure. It's not opening the valve, and then all of a sudden it goes wing, opens up the valve, and actually there's like a pocket in there where it just goes whoop and gets bigger, and then goes over the nose. They do that so it will make power down low. It will not RPM.
Yeah, the cats. I mean,
It will not RPM.
they're a low RPM type of motor. They're known for that. You know, like 12, 1300. They just they're smooth too. They are super smooth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
they don't go 2,000 RPMs. They don't even like being up there.
Yeah. They probably, cam gear bolts look like they're it looks like might even be like a 5/8 11. It looks like.
Big boys.
Yeah. Then the other thumbnail. I'd hold two. Well, I could hold two of these up, but
And throw your back out now.
Uh-huh.
so big diesel stuff really is fascinating. Are all these new big diesels like direct injected?
Yes.
Yeah. So when did everything go direct injected?
I mean, as far as I know, I don't know of a diesel motor that's not direct injected, honestly.
All of them.
Yeah. I don't think that they.
It shows you how much I know. I don't know. You know.
I mean, I'm sitting here trying to think. They've been around for a long time, but yeah, they're all. I mean, they.
Okay, this is really cool because notice this is not broke. I don't even know how all this kind of stuff works and functions because the skirt is separate from the piston and ringland. So the skirt is aluminum. This whole top ringland area and cup for the direct injection is steel.
Yeah.
And then it must be it's articulated. See this? So this is really interesting. I'm just thinking about it now. So I'm just trying to figure out how stuff all works. So
Us gasoline guys have no idea what's going on.
yeah, we have.
We're just
question
marks.
Yeah,
going
I'm
around.
honestly just thinking I have. This makes just obscene amounts of torque, power. Like I said, this would never even go to 2,000 RPM.
Yeah, it would do it, but it's not happy up there. It don't make any power up there.
Unhappy.
Yeah.
Unhappy up there. But yes, this is like I don't know. So apparently, well, if you take the pin out, will the skirt come off?
Pulling the wrist pin out. Yeah.
Yeah, you take the wrist pin out, and then the skirt would come off, and you could see that this piston is kind of shaped like a fork right here, and goes down then to the top steel crown portion of the piston.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, that's really pretty neat. This literally is the first time I've ever seen big diesel stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, and I've never had.
I guess there's no real need to. Your stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have any need to, but it's pretty fascinating how this stuff works. And then sleeves and when they rebuild these motors, so most of the time you do the rebuild overhaul in chassis, right?
Yeah, so typically, that's the beauty of a diesel engine that's got a wet block with a liner is, it's got an in-frame they call it an in-frame overhaul. That's pretty standard. You know, an engine like this will do anywhere from 1 million to 2 million miles on hard parts, depending on people taking care of it and stuff like that. But that's a nice part about this, you know, is you hurt a cylinder. Let's say you have an injector that overfuels or something happens, it drops a valve. You change the head. If the kits look good, you can just change one kit, put it back on the road. You know, that's, you know, you're not dry block. You got to pull it out, have the whole thing machined. You know, it can garbage the cylinder and it don't matter, and you put it back to a standard bore because the liner. So that's the beauty of diesel engines, is, you know, having a wet liner like that. You know, yeah, it makes it really, really nice. So because things can happen, obviously, and you don't have to pull the whole engine out, wait on the machine shop. You know, we can have an engine drop a valve or something and have it back on the road in a couple days. You know, parts here ready to rock and roll. Yeah,
because you can just rebuild it right there.
Yeah, it makes it nice. Takes the. I mean, obviously machine work is still there. It's just you don't have to wait on the machinist because everything's done. You're putting it back together.
Right.
So yeah.
Very cool. So we're gonna close this video out because we got 25 hours straight drive to try making it home. But figured I'd come back over here, back into my comfort zone, where I feel comfortable at, and want to thank Jake, and make sure, because you guys got a website, Facebook, all sorts of stuff.
Plug the social media.
Yeah,
social media, man.
JBJ Diesel. So it's actually Joe Blake Jake, because people will be like JB something else or something. It's just JBJ Diesel. So
JBJ Diesel.
Yeah.
Make sure you go there, check it out.
Yeah.
Appreciate Jake.
Yeah.
Taking care of stuff.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And we're going to be on the road. Like, subscribe, all that kind of good jive. I'm Steve Morris. Have a great day.